And I went in there. I looked up the name of the marketing person on LinkedIn. I went to the front desk. I said, "Hi, I have a meeting with Laura at 1:30." I had no meeting. They're like, they go, "Oh yeah, of course." They ask for my IDs. I look at Harrison, and I'm like, "I can't. This is working." We give our IDs.
That is so
She's
good.
typing in our information. She's about to take a photo of us on the webcam to send us up. She goes, "Wait, I don't see you guys in the system." And I said, "No, it can't be. I mean, we spoke to the headquarters. They told us to come at 1:30. We should be in the system. We were just going to go up the elevator and say, 'Where's your marketing person? I need 2 minutes.'" That is when the elevator pitch comes in. And
We've been talking about getting an intro song. We wanted to get a guy on Fiverr to do it for us, but
Yeah, we've been looking
I am
for
now
someone,
choosing
but
the intro song for Team Finance Pod. I've taken it over, and this is the intro song. Come on. If you're not getting hyped to this, get off the pod.
yes, sir.
Dude, I wake up at 6 a.m. and just start blasting Playboy Cardi. Come on.
Yo, welcome back to the Teen Finance Podcast. We are here today with a very special guest. We have Mordy Weiss. Is that how you say your name?
Yeah, that's perfect, man. Wow, that was pretty
Okay.
good. Mordy,
We'll call
AKA,
you Mordy.
AKA Mordy for Prez. You know, that's how some people know me around here.
Yes, sir. All right. So, Mordy, you are a lawyer, a content creator. You are former tech founder, all of that. I want you to be able to do your own intro. I don't want to like mess anything up. So just tell us who you are real quick.
Hell yeah, man. First of all, thank you guys for having me, Sam and Maseo. And, I've been a fan of the pod. Happy to jump on with you guys. I got recruited to play basketball in college. And after a year of sitting on the bench, I had enough and I dove into business. And it was during college where I had my tech startup, which was an app that you guys described in one of your podcasts about finding the most lit parties. So the app was actually called Lit. We actually own the trademark on the word Lit. So I own Lit for now. And that was my
Wait, do I
career
have to
in
pay
college.
like a royalty every time I say that?
if you make money on it, we
Wow.
could dive into hold on, maybe it's too loud. And so that was really my career in college, was in the tech space, entrepreneurship. And from there I pursued law school, and I attended my dream school, NYU Law School, and that was an amazing experience in the West Village. I was on the basketball team there, which was, I got to relive my old days a little bit. And I graduated in 2021. I joined a big law firm in New York City called Gibson Dunn, one of the more well-known, like the top 2 groups in the country. And then I went in-house at a real estate company. But throughout the whole time, I've been doing a lot of content creation, working on a lot of discrete projects. I get bored really fast, and people call it ADD. I just call it creativity, whatever it is. But
Yeah.
I do video creation, product design, web design, marketing, really anything and everything to keep me excited. So that's really my story. Now I've been given a really cool platform on TikTok, over 70 million views up to date, and I speak at different universities. And I love speaking to guys your age, because I'm not that much older than you guys, really, just a few years ahead. So if I could just tell what I did and what I found worked and what didn't work, hopefully you guys could listen and learn, and then be a much better version of me one day in 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, that's our goal. We're just going to try to pick your brain for like the next hour or something. So we're thinking we're going to go through your journey like chronologically is what we thought made the most sense than trying to like jump around. So it really starts with your tech startups in college, right? And that includes the app you started called Lit. So yeah, like you said, we totally just like, it's my fault that I didn't like do enough research trying to figure out if anyone had done this before. But tell us about Lit, what exactly, how it operated, when this was, and yeah.
Oh, definitely. And by the way, one of my followers tagged me in that video. That's how I found you guys. Because I made a video about Lit, and then they saw your video and tagged me like, "Oh, Mordy already did it." So I was in college in New York City. I don't know if you guys, how old are you guys?
16.
16.
Oh, wow. Okay. So I was in college in New York, and these were the nightlife golden ages. Nightlife is not the same post-COVID, but at its height, dude, we were out at clubs with Travis Scott, Post Malone. We were going out a lot. It was sick. So, but there was an issue where we would go out at night. We'd pay $100 cover. We'd pay for the Uber. We'd get there, and it was a terrible vibe. The crowd was bad. The line was too long. And I thought to myself, there has to be a way to know how the venue, how the bar or the nightclub is at that exact moment before I actually invest and show up there. So we set out to create it. So I went home, started drawing up different screens and thinking about how to really build this out. And then Lit was born. And what it did is it would take the average of all the ratings within that hour and show it on a party stats screen. So when you get to the club, you check in at, let's say, One Oak, and we would ask you right away, how lit is it? And it was really simple. I mean, this was when we were designing the UI and the UX for anyone that is interested in apps or product design. The easier and more simple it is, the less features you put in, that the better it is. A lot of founders, the mistake that I see is they try beefing it up and they think that the more features they put in, the better it'll be, the better the competitive advantage. But users are very exhausted and they don't want to take time. So similar, we wanted to model it off the simplicity of ways that you have to be able to use this app when you're drunk. So you get in there, you click 1 to 5, the bigger the flame, the better it was. And then you'd open up our map and you would see on the screen, oh, this place is popping right now. Let's go here. And also you would have lit friends on the app as well. So a lot of times you don't want to text the girl straight out saying, hey, are you out right now? Because that may look a little too simpy. But you could look on Lit and see, oh, dude, Brittany just checked in around the block with her friends. Let's just show up. And hey, good to see you guys here. So that was the app. We had a team of 8 core team members and then 100 campus ambassadors across 5 campuses. We launched it, dude. I was going to school from 9 to 5 because I was at Yeshiva University. It's a double curriculum college. I was in the honors program, the business program. So I was studying from 9 to 5 just in class. And I'd go to the library from, let's say, 5:30 to 8:30. And then I'd drive 2 or 3 hours and throw a launch party for 600-700 people.
Wow.
And then I'd get home.
It sounds like busy, but it must have been the time of your life doing that, right?
Dude, yeah. It is. I think that anyone, especially you at your age, you must try a startup. It doesn't have to be an app. It doesn't have to be a podcast, whatever it is. It is the most fulfilling experience, the most stressful. And I would say I learned more, no hate to any of my academic pursuits, but I learned more at that startup than any other schooling that I've done.
Yeah. I don't want to say, I'm just going to cut you off real quick. Morty, I heard you say something about simplicity, and I feel like that applies to pretty much any business. Like you see with In-N-Out or like something like that, where like people love those like simple businesses where you don't have to like worry about stuff. Like, I don't know. I feel like options are a bad thing, like 90% of the time.
Yeah, definitely. I think if you go to a restaurant and, they used to call it the diner menus, you used to go to a diner and they have 1,000 items on the menu. And you go to a lot of the really popular restaurants, like you're saying, I'm kosher. So I've never eaten at, I've never eaten at In-N-Out. Yeah. But, I hear Chipotle is kind of similar where for consumers, they're getting hit 100 different ways on their phones, on billboards. Now, when you go take a piss at the bathroom, there's an advertisement in front of you on the urinal. You can't get. Yeah. I was in Miami and I'm looking out into the ocean and they have boats now in Miami that go by with advertisements. So yeah,
I saw those. I've seen those.
They have ad boats, so consumers don't get arrested. So if you do get their time, even for a second, it better be quick, it better be concise, and it better be interesting.
Yeah,
totally. So Lit seems like it was. Or is a great app. What happened to Lit? Is it still around, or did you sell it?
That's a great question. I sold it for $5 billion. I now have homes all over the U.S. It's great. Yeah, dude. So we were at about 10 to 15,000 users, and you do have the chicken and egg problem because you're trying to get users, and at the same time you're trying to sign up venues. And I think if you're trying to pursue any app or any business, it has to be 110%. And I think at that time, especially at my age, I wasn't even legal to drink yet, boys. I mean, I was 18, 19. Yeah. I was 18, 19 years old running a nightlife app and like knocking door to door to venue owners. And I would put on my best suit, my best tie to make myself look older. But I mean, I was young. So I think the timing was tough. I think looking back, I really didn't know shit. I still don't know a lot. I'm still learning every single day. I'm trying to get better, but especially then. And then I also think it's hard. You want to take a safe bet. Like I knew if I went to law school, I for sure would get a job that pays X after law school. And I would always have that. So I think timing and everything is super important. I think, sometimes taking a risk is a hard decision. And, a lot of times you hear the hero stories of, I dropped out. And then, this guy dropped out and slept in the garage. But for every one of those success stories, there are about 1,000 other people that did drop out. The startup didn't work out. And, now they're back to square one. So I think it's all I've always thought about going back to it, but could you imagine, guys, if I would have built up Lit to an amazing app and then COVID hit? I mean, that would have been the end of the
It wouldn't have worked.
Yeah,
it would have been
that would have been really bad.
So in like some ways, you just could think like maybe God was looking out for me and pushing me a different way, because like nightlife is still not where it was even now.
Yeah. Were there any, like, you just mentioned some of the problems, were there any like legal problems specifically that like turned you towards being a lawyer? Or
yeah, dude, I mean, any business is so legal intensive. It does not matter what you do. If you guys have your podcast here, what's so hard? We're just videoing. You need an LLC agreement because you need an operating agreement. How do you guys split the revenue? Who decides what? How could you hire more people? All of a sudden you start making money. Now you have to figure out what bank account. You have to open up an account. Those are more documents. Everything is complicated nowadays. So when we were running the app, trademarking the name, I would go through, and just so you guys, just a quick rundown on what trademarking is. You guys have the Teen Finance Pod. You guys are now using the name on your platform. You have it on Instagram. So you've actually established the use of the name. But even so, if you wanted an extra layer of protection, you would have to file it with the federal government, and you would have to go through any name that has the word teen in it, and Teen Money, Teen Cash, Teen Finance. And you would have to go. I went through hundreds of names, and they all have a description on them. And if your description is anything similar to someone else that's already filed, you can't use the name anymore. So I don't know. Did you guys even do a trademark check for Teen Finance?
I mean, our trademark check consists of like a Google search and a podcast search, pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah, if the Instagram name's available, we're good.
I will do a complimentary trademark search after. But
Thank you.
but
Awesome.
that was very complicated. Just trademarking the name, and then when we were bringing in investors, we raised not millions, not hundreds of thousands, but even at that age, like for me, 10K was insane. And we had to think how you wanted to structure the company so the investors had protection. So we incorporated as a C Corp. And that's, I don't want to bore everyone to say what the advantages are, but that was a whole process. Now investors are giving us money. How do we want to do it? Do we want to give them straight up shares? Do we want to do a convertible note? Again, this is all legal jargon that will kill the entertainment value of this podcast, so I'm not going to get into it. But I couldn't believe how difficult the landscape was from the legal perspective. Everything else is intuitive. Marketing. All right, guys, how do we market this app? We were at West Virginia University. I called up all the ambassadors. We had like 30 at that campus. I printed out door hangers. You guys know when you go to a hotel, this is the best marketing idea. Do you know when you go to a hotel and they have do not disturb signs? People are getting on the freaky. They put on the do not disturb signs.
Yeah.
So I designed custom door hangers with our app on the front and our launch parties on the back, so people knew where our parties were. Everyone in West Virginia went to sleep, and my ambassadors at 2 a.m. went across the whole campus and put up 2,000 door hangers.
You hit every door, man.
dude, talk about user acquisition costs being low. About $100 worth of door hangers. They woke up, and instantly, within an hour, by 9 a.m., we had 600 more downloads.
I love
within an hour.
It's so good.
Yeah, within an hour. And it's just thinking outside the box and doing things in a cheap way, and trying to, everyone wants to think, oh, Instagram, TikTok, which is great. But, sometimes when everyone's on digital, it does make sense to go back in time a little bit and get more tangible. So that was one of the marketing things we did. But anything when it comes to business, like you guys will see as you guys continue along, things are intuitive. Law is not intuitive. It's very complicated. And it's purposely designed that way to gatekeep the industry. Because if everyone understood law, right? If they made it simple enough for Sam and Maseo to understand this LLC agreement, then you wouldn't need a lawyer. And who's the one creating all these laws and regulations? Sam?
Government with the lawyers and
lawyers.
Yeah.
Lawyers make the landscape so impossible that you will forever need them.
Yeah.
Sad reality. Why is it that to pay your taxes, you need a lawyer? Shouldn't it be simple enough? Okay, I made this much money. Here's that. Balance sheet, depreciation, amortization, different categories. So anyway, law is pretty complicated.
Yeah. So other question. So with Lit, were you guys making money at a point, or how did you plan on making money off of it?
So there's a lot of money in nightlife promotion, mostly from the alcohol companies. Oh, dude, I gotta show you guys something. I could show you guys something. Hold on, you have to let me get something from
Go
downstairs
for it. Go for
from my
it.
living
Go
room,
for it.
dude.
Yeah.
Wait. Let's do this later because I have a new venture I'm working on. It is the biggest bullshit, but it's hilarious. And I have a prototype in my living room, and I will show it to you, and I will preview it on the Teen Finance Pod.
Okay, we'll get to it at the very end. If people
Yeah,
stick around to the
we'll do
end,
it
they
at the
can
very
see.
end, dude. And someone's gonna. I can't. It's a board game, and it's sick. But anyway,
Okay.
in terms of making money for startups, the users and the data are the money. So when we would open up the back end, so our portal, we would see that when one venue would light up and there was a lot of activity on the app, we would actually see our users migrate towards that venue. So the
Okay.
party stats was really powerful. And I was thinking, here we're at a small college campus, but once we get to Vegas and we get to New York City and we get to places in Miami, there is real money in pushing consumers in a certain way in nightlife. But most importantly, alcoholic brands promoting on our app. What better platform would there be to promote your new tequila brand or your new vodka brand than a nightlife app? So I think it's really hard for a social media app to think about monetization. I was always thinking about that, especially when raising money. You want to say, this is how we're going to make money. But being that we were still very young, we made a few thousand here and there, but it didn't even cover expenses. So I would say it was more so the long game. And that is a challenge for startups. It really is because in the beginning, no one even wants to answer your phone calls.
Yeah. What other
Yeah,
like
totally.
main lessons and takeaways do you have from Lit? Just if you want like to sum it up, what are the most important things that you like would apply to a new tech startup if you had to do it all over again?
Yes, it's a great question. The number one piece of advice I'd give is people that know business, marketing, fundraising, they think that they can outsource the technology if it's any sort of tech company. They think they could hire someone who will be, overseas or someone you're paying per hour to build a tech company. And when we went to venture capitalists and I did get my foot in the door, they said, "Wait, where's your tech founder?" And I said, "What? No, we're business guys. I mean, we have our tech handled, but we have this guy that we're paying." And I think when you're building a product, you are going to go through so many iterations, so many changes. You're going to get feedback, change. What's working, do more of what's working, get rid of the features that no one's using. And I think that was the biggest takeaway is building a team for what the company is. So if you're building a podcast, you should have great entertainers. If you're building a tech startup, there better be someone on the cap table that owns a good percentage of the company that has a strong background in tech. If you're building a lumber company, you better have a rugged guy that knows how to chop wood. So I think when it comes to any sort of startup, you really need to think about who is the right person for this. Sometimes it takes a lot of humility to say, I don't know anything about this, so we better get someone to take the place. That
Yeah,
was the number
that
one
that's
thing.
that's gold. Because I mean, I've
Yeah,
been
totally.
thinking about like what I want to do after high school and stuff. If I want to, major in like something like business or like CS and do something like in the technical side. And I'd always thought like with more and more things being able to be outsourced, like does it even make sense to like become someone who's technical like that? But I think what you're saying about like the iterations, you kind of just need to be able to like do stuff yourself, build stuff yourself, fix stuff at a moment's notice. Like those, you can't, when you're in like that early stage startup, you can't afford those like delays and those communication errors and all that kind of stuff. So I agree. I think that might affect what I do after, I think it'd be fun to do something like technical, but we'll see. Yeah.
And you guys are so ahead of the game. And if you're on a podcast, you're both very well spoken. You're focused. When I was 16, I was yelling into the mic on GTA. So you guys are.
Hey, we do that too. Trust.
Yeah.
That's right after this.
Yeah. But anyway, the more you know how to do yourself, the better you are. My father always gave me a great lesson. He's been a great role model for me in every step. Is your professionals are only as good as you. So Maseo, if you hire someone who's a coder and you don't know shit about coding, do you know if they're doing a good job? And Sam, if you
No.
if you hire someone to do your social media marketing and you've never run a successful social media campaign, do you know if you're getting good work? So even if you're going to outsource, you need to know the business just as well as they do.
Yeah.
That was a good lesson from my dad.
Yeah, on the topic of SMMA and that kind of stuff, I don't know where you said marketing agency. I don't know where this slots in the timeline, so we can just do it now. What was your marketing agency? Explain this real quick.
Yeah, so listen, I see there are a lot of people on TikTok that say like, do a marketing agency and make $10 million, and
Dude, every all those YouTubers and stuff, it drives me crazy sometimes.
Yeah, always.
yeah. So I just want to pare it down and make it more palatable for us, because when they talk about millions and millions, we can't relate to it. I'm talking about small scale, $10,000 here, $10,000 there. I'm going to give you guys a great example. I've always been very outgoing, and I would talk to people. And I spoke to a guy that owned a real estate company, and he said he wanted to do SEO. You guys know when you Google Teen Finance Pod, you could create keywords in a whole campaign that your podcast will come up on top on Google. Very
It's
powerful
Maseo's
tool.
name. Seo. That's what his nickname is. Search engine optimization.
Oh really? Oh, you do SEO?
Well, no, his name is.
No, it's my nickname.
Maseo,
It's half
so
my name.
yeah, we
Oh,
end
yeah.
it ends
Good
with
call.
Seo, so then that's where
Oh, good
like,
call. Good call. I didn't even realize that. But anyway, so I was speaking to him, and he's like, we really need SEO. And I looked up on Google. I said, how much? I contacted search engine SEO companies and found out how much do they charge. I was thinking $100. They said $2,000 a month. I said, you get $2K a month for SEO? So what did I do? I was a junior in college, ton of free time, and I took a 2 or 3 month SEO course on udemy.com. The course cost me $20, and I was locked in. So I did SEO. I became a total master at it, and then I started getting clients. One here, 20K in a few months. Another client, 10K here, 10K there, for something that I learned myself. It didn't cost me any money, no startup costs, and I made some really good money finding a basic need. Not a big marketing agency with millions and millions of dollars. I found a small thing that someone needed, and I saw how much other people were charging, and I said, wait, if I could do it just as well and I'll charge a fourth, and I get 4 or 5 clients, I'll do it on a Sunday. I'm always working. Saturday night, Sunday, I'm always at my computer just typing away. So that's just one example of the things that I was doing. I'm also a videographer, a video producer. So I was always making videos and finding different talent. But the SEO is a perfect example of taking your free time and turning it to money. And it doesn't need to be millions. I mean, if you're in college or high school, there are people that are 30, 40 years old that run a business that don't know what Instagram and TikTok is, but they know they need it. So I think people your age take for granted how much knowledge you guys have and how valuable it is. This stuff just comes naturally to you guys. You know, making TikTok videos, trends, hashtags, it's just like second nature for us. But for people that are 20 years older, your knowledge is valuable and can be compensated very well if you position yourself in the right way.
Hold on. You said videography. This is like my thing. That's what I do. So I just like,
really?
How long did you do that for? Yeah. I mean, I like for my school and stuff, I make all like the sports videos, all like the announcement videos, all of that. So I've been doing it for like the past like 5 years. So
are you serious? You have to send it to me.
I will. I'll send you. It's at Sam Crane Media on Instagram.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Look at it right now.
I've been doing it. Like I started doing it like 4th grade, and then just more recently, I started doing it more often, and like getting clients and stuff. So yeah.
Hell yeah! Wow. Oh, dude, this is good content here. Wow, yeah, this is all you. You're editing too.
Yeah.
Bro, these videos are hard. Woo! I mean, it's Kanye, I'll have to look away.
Yeah, no, yeah, that was that. When people asked for a song, that was like right before it got way worse. But I'm like, yeah,
dude, you're nice with the camera.
Yes, sir.
You're nice with the camera. I wouldn't just say that. Hell yeah, dude, that's amazing.
Yeah.
That's
how
amazing.
long did you do video for? When was this happening for you?
Forever, dude. Forever. I used to use the flip camera. Do you guys even know what that is?
No.
Dude, it's a tiny little camera. Not. Do you know the flip camera? You guys, I hear you guys. You guys were talking about Yik Yak on one of your podcasts, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, there's no way these guys are that much younger than me. Like, Yik Yak was a big company when I was in high school or college, and they got acquired for $30 million. Company went dead, and they're just reviving now.
Oh, did they sign like a non-compete or something, and then they just came back?
No, it's the same company. They just died, and then they brought it back to life. But dude, this company was acquired for $30 million years ago. But anyway,
I thought they were brand new.
Yeah, I did too.
Dude, I heard you guys talk about. I'm like, there's no way I'm that much older than these guys. Like,
I had no clue that Yik Yak existed before this. I thought they were a brand new company.
No. So anyway, um, yeah, dude, I've always loved cameras, and I think now it's really cool to have a camera and to film and make great content. But when I was in high school and I would walk around with the camera, people thought I was crazy. Like before
Yeah.
puberty, I was there. Hey guys, Mordecai. Like put my dad on camera, put the camera away. So I
Yeah.
think I've always made content, and I never really posted it places. And when TikTok came out, I said, all right, let me just do one video, and it got 500,000 views, and the rest is history. But I think when it comes to content creators like you guys, you get on the podcast and you love to make content. You love to talk. You like to make
Yeah.
videos, and you're not even doing it for the views. So for people like you, you're destined to succeed in this. It's like it's inevitable. It's just gonna happen. It may happen in 3 years or 4 years, but if you love to make the content and you don't care who's watching, it will automatically succeed. I've seen it over and over again. But you know who doesn't succeed? People that are jumping on trends, trying to do it just for clout, for views, for the numbers. I was always making videos because I love making videos, and then people started watching. But it's not the other way around. It's not people were watching and then I really dove into the content and creating. So I think it's one of the most important things with content creation, that if you're doing it for because you saw someone else do it and get flown out on a yacht and you want to live that cool life, I 10 times out of 10 they will never succeed in content creation. But if you guys are 16 and on a Sunday making videos, then in 5 years from now you'll pop off. One moment, dude. All it takes is what I'm telling you in this world, one moment, and then you guys pop off and they go, wow, those guys got really lucky. And then you'll say, no, but 5 years ago we were podcasting every Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's sweet, dude.
So did you ever have the intention of becoming like a social media influencer? Like, was that ever a dream of yours, or did it just kind of come with like your success almost?
Never. And people, sometimes people stop me and go, "Oh, it's that TikToker." Or they'll refer to me as a social media influencer, and I just say, "No, I'm a lawyer. I don't know what you're talking about." I work too hard, man, to be called an influencer. And I don't think people should strive to be a social media influencer. I think you should strive to do something really important, interesting, and inspiring that then in turn makes people want to watch you. Do you see the difference between those two? One is just saying, I want to have people viewing me versus I want to do something great and people will tune in eventually. So
Yeah.
I never want to be a
Yeah.
social media influencer. I never want people to say, oh, he's an influencer, because I'm here working on a journey, trying to make the best of myself, giving advice, showing how to proceed academically, professionally, and people are tuning in. So never, ever. I mean, people ask me when I left my big law firm, are you going full time on the social media influencing? And I think it's also hard because once you do it as a full time profession, now the views really matter.
Yeah.
Like now the brand
Yeah.
deals really matter. I get a lot of brand deal inquiries and the money's good. Like I'm making 5 figures now just off TikTok, but
Mhm.
I don't even like to do brand deals. I don't
Yeah.
even like to do it. I mean, the
Yeah.
money's nice, but I don't enjoy like making that content is not fun for me. So I naturally shy away from it.
Before we move into like all the NYU and law stuff, I just
Yeah.
want to get this rest of the social media stuff out of the way. Like, we won't spend too much time on this, but just like with your TikTok growth journey, I know a lot of people who like, I mean, do something like people who do cool stuff, but want to like translate this into like something on TikTok. How would you say
Yeah,
is the best way to go about that? Any like growth hacks that you've come across?
definitely. It's funny because the landscape is changing on TikTok. It's much harder to get attention. You see views
Yeah.
like totally throttling, which is natural. I mean, you see the average. If you scroll on your TikTok page, half the videos are ads now.
Yeah.
Those used to be
Yeah.
user videos, so it makes sense. It's we could have seen it coming, but I really think it's so important to just unequivocally be yourself. And everyone else on social media will say, jump on the trend, use the trending sound, do the dance. I don't think that's the way, because maybe you hit one time, maybe you get 100,000 views on that one video, but they weren't there for you. They were there because they were scrolling and they love the sound of, Coffin by Lil Yachty. And that's always why they watch your video, but otherwise they're not interested. So I think you must do something that is true to you and that no one else is doing. So when I started doing day in the life of a lawyer, bro, no one was making videos of studying and no one was making videos of in a library and becoming a lawyer, because people would usually think, oh, that's really boring. Like, bro, when you scroll on TikTok, all it is the sway boys I was with them in LA, by the way. That's for another story.
Oh, really?
But like all you see are these kids like without shirts on in Lambos, and you think, why would anyone be interested in my life working to be a lawyer at my dream law school? Why would they care? It's boring. But then I realized that there are so many other people like me that have the same exact interest, and they don't want to see someone in LA with a Lambo because they can't relate to that. So relatability is key. Being yourself is key, and individuality is key because otherwise there will be 100 of you. You will never make the most cinematic content. You will never have the best edits ever. You will never have the best body and the best dances. But if you are you, then you are going to be the best in that niche because that's you.
Yeah, it's kind of like what you're saying about like, going viral and having that one hit. It's kind of like slow growth versus, getting that one like shout out. Like a lot of times when you see YouTubers give like smaller people shout outs, a ton of like of their subscribers like flock to that channel, but then they'll just like die because I mean, they don't know what content they're there for,
Definitely.
So I think like that's good motivation for when you're seeing that slow growth. Like you just have to wait it out. But when you're building your audience, you're building like, people that are going to stick with you and listen to the rest of your stuff or like watch the rest of your content. So
definitely, Sam. And one last thing,
matter.
I would never, when I speak at universities, I just spoke at St. John's, I would never ever tell someone to pursue social media as a job. I would never.
Yeah.
I think
it's not a job. It's not.
I think it's
it has to go along with something else.
Yeah, exactly. Like you need something else to complement it. I think a lot of people on social media are giving a bad message and showing, look how good my life is. I get up and I do Pilates and then I answer 10 emails and this is my great life, and they're not paying their own rent. So I think at the end of the day, like, don't pursue social media full time, but definitely do social media instead of sitting down and watching Netflix. Like I don't like to watch sports. I love sports. I don't like to watch sports. I don't like to watch TV. I don't like to watch other people do things. I'm thinking to myself, why don't I just do it?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
That's it. That's my take for, creating.
All right, I think it's time to roll into NYU. Get to the next chapter in your life. Just like, what was it like at NYU? Tell us about that.
Hold up, boys. I'm seeing these lights over here. So when I was applying to law school, is that better? That's a little better. Yeah, it's a little better. So when I was applying to law school, I was never really that great of a student. I was in detention a lot, not because I was rebellious, but because I couldn't sit and listen. I found class very boring. So no one ever knew me as the smart kid. I was on the basketball team. I was always hooping. I had 60 absences my senior year of high school. I missed a lot, and no one ever knew me as, I was always in the mid classes. And then when I decided I wanted to go to law school, I said, if I'm going to do this, it has to be the best school. I can't have it any other way. And I applied to all these law schools, and they all put me on a wait list. And for those that don't know, that is basically saying, we read your application. We're not saying no, but we probably won't say yes. It's like you most people die on the wait list. So I was on the wait list at my dream school, NYU, and I always wanted to go there because my mom went to NYU. Another great role model for me. And I couldn't have it any other way. So, dude, I would be on the treadmill, and I would see myself every day just walking through the courtyard. Like for me in my head, I was in the school already. I just had to figure out how to get them to realize. It was a surety already. And people thought I was crazy because it's the number 6 school in the whole country. And I wasn't a big bookworm. And I kept visiting. I would go to the school. I'd show my face. I said, I really want to come here. I made myself seem as someone that really wanted to be there and not just applying to many schools. Like, this is where I need to be. And I think they saw that passion, and eventually I got off the wait list. And it was the best blessing in the world, going to school in the West Village in New York City, right across the street from Washington Square Park. It's a magical place. And that first year I got to class, and I was not the smartest in the room. All these kids went to Harvard and Yale and Columbia, and they were all, learning 10 languages by the time they were 15. And I looked around, I said, wow, everyone in this room is more intellectual than me, every single one. But I said to myself, okay, so I will be in the library first. And I was really petty about it too. I wouldn't leave the library until everyone else was gone. Like, even if I would just like watch a show. If I was done studying and there were still people in there, I would just watch YouTube. I'm like, I can't leave until I'm the last one here. And through that, man, I finished top of my class. I passed the bar exam 99 percentile. And it's important to hear that, not because I'm bragging about my academic accomplishments. It's because I swear I was not the smartest in the room. I was probably the least smart in the room. I had to wake up at 5 a.m. every day just to do my readings. And I would get to class. I'd say, what do you guys think about those readings? Because in law school, they give you 100 pages of very dense Supreme Court jurisprudence to read. And they'd say, oh, it's nice. I did it over coffee today. And I'm up at 5 a.m. just to do the reading. So anytime you're in a place where you feel academically outmatched, I think it's important to always know that if you outwork them, you will do better. It's as simple as that. Hours always win.
Totally.
Yeah. So we've done like a few episodes on like study hacks and like how to like manage your time in school. Like, what are a few like takeaways you have from going to NYU and going through law school?
I'm going to throw 3 big time study hacks.
All right.
You guys know what this is? It's a notebook. You write in it. You know what this is? This is a pen. It's not virtual. It's not electronic. Okay. I know you guys are all on the Macs. So am I, but this is a planner. This is my week. These are all things crossed out that I needed to do. And once it was done, I crossed it out. When you wake up, before you go to bed, you get this, you guys order this planner. You must do it. And you write down what you need to do the next day. You write it all out. You can't go to sleep until that's all done. When you finish a task, you cross it out. This keeps you accountable. It keeps you on task. And why not just do it on a cell phone? I'll tell you why you don't do it on a cell phone, Sam. Because if you put on your reminders app, you start putting it in, and then you get a snap from that girl you've been trying to snap for weeks. All of a sudden you go, oh, you snap her back. Then you get to TikTok and Instagram. 20 minutes go by and you go, bro, what was I even doing? So hack number 1, hack number 2, your phone is your enemy.
I'm gonna use my planner. I promise. I run my to-do list in my notes app right now. I will stop that because it's so true. It is so true.
Right, dude. This is the enemy of productivity.
Absolutely.
I love the phone.
100%.
I love the phone more than anyone else. But it is the greatest enemy of productivity. So that's number 2. When I was in law school, boys, like, I was an awful studier. I couldn't sit for more than 20 minutes. What I did, the library had a small little crevice under a stairwell. Harry Potter vibes, dude, where no one else would come. No windows, dude, is my secret spot. I would take my iPhone. I would go up 2 floors to my locker, and I'd lock my phone in my locker. I would text my family. If I had a girl at the time, I'd say, I'm going dark 3 hours. Don't be worried if you can't reach me. And I'd lock my phone in a locker. I feel
like you don't tell them. You just got to play with their feelings, bro. You don't know.
No, I don't want to. I'm giving too much knowledge on the academia. I can't get into that. There are all these other dating life influencers. I don't want to. I don't want to step on their niche. But anyway, so that's the second thing, man. Write down your goals on a planner. Get rid of your phone. And a bonus one, a eucalyptus candle. Scientifically proven to improve focus.
Really.
And then I have one more for you guys. Out of all your friends, Sam and Maseo, you guys are 16, so it really shouldn't be high. But I'm going to ask you, I need an honest answer. This is the real deal, boys. No more bullshit.
All right. I'm ready.
What percentage of your friends smoke weed?
Probably like... Actually, out of our friends, like
I don't know.
Maybe your grade. Don't call your friends. Hold on. Don't call your friends. What percentage of your grade? Like people you know. Like maybe you don't surround. I'm talking about people you know in your you walk by every day.
Consistently, like 30% at least.
I was gonna go like 60%.
It's not 60%. It's not that high.
No. Look at it. No, it actually is. If you think about it, like every person there does actually smoke. They go to a party, they're smoking.
Okay.
Think about every person.
Not like okay. Sure.
Thank you, Maseo, for being honest, unlike Sam, who's a liar. Okay?
It's not that bad. I don't think
Boys.
It's like, we'll say 50. We'll meet in the middle.
Okay.
50. Half of the peers your age are frying their brain, frying their ambition. They smoke, they hit the couch, they eat nachos, and they sit there for 8 hours. I don't want to hear a single person ask me for productivity advice or how to succeed or how to get a nice watch by age 25 or 26 if they're smoking weed. It's bullshit. They're wasting my time.
Totally.
Because at the
Yeah,
end of the
100%.
day, if you have your planner and you have your phone away, but you are dazed, if you are walking around like a zombie, you will lose 10 times out of 10. And I am so damn sick of hearing everyone say, but everyone does it. But everyone smokes weed, so why can't I smoke weed? They're all sedated. They're sedated. They're not humans. They're not walking around lucid. That is my number one piece of advice. Screw the planner. Screw the sitting down. Stop smoking weed. It's not cool. If your parents did it, you wouldn't be in college. If your grandparents did it, you guys would probably all be dead by now. My grandparents fled from Europe away from the Nazi regime. They for sure were not smoking weed. My parents grew up dirt poor. They would come home every day, both of them, at 9, 10 p.m., so exhausted they could barely talk. They were not smoking weed. So if you're privileged and you're in a place where you don't have to worry about anything, that's not an excuse to smoke. So that is one thing. When I go to campuses, that's what I say, and everyone thinks I'm crazy. They think I'm crazy because no one else is talking about it. So if you see your boy smoking weed, like my friends, they know don't pull out a joint in front of me. I don't know what my friends do. They don't want to. Do not pull out a joint in front of me. That's it. I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to be near you. I don't want that energy. So let me tell you, just because if everyone else is doing something, so much more so, it's a good justification that you should not do it. Groupthink. If you want to stand out, you must do things that no one else is doing. If that means resisting weed, if that means not doing drugs, then you better go ahead and do it. So I can't believe I didn't lead with that, but I damn well will end with that. Stop smoking weed.
W school advice. I like that.
That was great.
All right. Other things, like I know a lot of people like you want to get into top schools like NYU. What should they be doing now in high school? What should they be doing to get in?
Something amazing. And what I mean by that is your advisors will say, do this club, and this club is really good, and be president of your accounting club. Dude, everyone applying to these schools were president of every club.
Yeah.
Everyone applying to these top schools have great grades. Everyone applying to these top schools have the best standardized test scores, which means you need that, but you need much more to get in. So I'll give you a few examples. My startup was a great differentiator. At that point, I already was running a company with a valuation over $1.5 million. I also was very involved with a charity called Save a Child's Heart. I still am. And this charity takes in kids from developing countries that cannot afford heart treatment, and they fly them into Israel, and they give them life-saving treatment. They house the children and the families all free of charge. And I was head of the Valentine's Day event, which I was a great promoter because that was my business. You know what I'm saying? I knew how to sell tables. I knew how to get people there. Dude, every time we ran that event, we raised $30,000. $30K off ticket sales only. And that was enough money to save a kid every time. It's like every time we did this event, we could say to ourselves, we just saved someone. It's not conjecture. It's not, oh, this will help, maybe. Like that money was sent and a kid was flown in and given life-saving heart treatment. And that's a tremendous testament to Save a Child's Heart, to the people that lead it. We're not anywhere near the importance of the surgeons, but we did our part. So I'm giving you examples of going above and beyond, and not just saying, I'm going to be, president of the pickleball club. I don't want anyone playing pickleball. Like, I don't know why you guys are playing pickleball. Play a damn sport. Like, put on your damn basketball shoes and play basketball. What's with the stupid pickleball crap? I'm sorry if you guys play pickleball, but anyway, is my audio too loud, by the way? How's my audio?
No, you're good. You're fine.
No, you're good.
So anyway, so that's what I would say. You must be incredibly unique. So if you want to make your own nonprofit, do it. If you want to start your own company, do it. But if you're going for a top school like NYU, where it's one of the best schools in the whole country and world renowned for a law school, you have to be exceptional.
All right. What are some of your favorite like New York City hacks from living there? I mean, you're still in New York, or?
Yeah, dude, still here. I could turn on my camera, but I have a whole setup.
Is that a bad New York question to ask?
No, it's not a bad. People say, "Oh, let me see if I could do this." Hold on, wait. Okay, if I do a front-facing camera, could you guys see the view out of my window?
A
Wait,
little.
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
now we can.
Oh
Now we
yeah, yeah. Now we
can.
see it. Now we see it.
oh yeah. Look at that innovation, boys. So anyway, do people ask me for New York City hacks? But I've lived here for so long. You know, people ask me, how do you survive in New York City? I went to college here. I went to law school here, and now I live here. So I don't really know. I could tell you it's cold. It's cold right now. Um, but in terms of surviving in New York City, people ask me that all the time. I don't know, man. You just have to live
Is it just
and
like live it,
like
just do it?
like go to gyms. You know, you meet cool people at gyms for sure. You join leagues, go to the parks. But I think I'm at a point now where I'm so used to it that I can't possibly put myself back to that first time I walked around New York City to give a decent answer.
Yeah. Morty, what's your
Yeah.
split? What's your workout routine, real quick?
I was about to say that.
Oh, dude, I work out about 4 or 5 times a week now. You know, I'm the type of dude that you see in the gym. You're not gonna turn your head and be like, "Damn, what's he doing?" Okay, it's not a thing. Like, no one's ever gonna see me lift and go, "Whoa!" Like, you know, I want to get advice from him. But if you catch me on a boat in Miami, then you'll say, "Okay, you know, he's doing well." But so I just to set standards here, I work out about 4 or 5 times a week. I swim 2 of those times. I love swimming. I feel like it's a sick workout, really great for flexibility, core strength. And then I do when I go to the gym, I don't lift too heavy. I love push-ups and pull-ups. Like anytime I'm frustrated, I'll just drop down 25, 30. Like you just have to be doing push-ups all freaking day. Like anywhere I am, I'm just doing push-ups. I think especially for at your age, I don't think you should be lifting heavy. I don't think you need to. If you want to put a plate on your back while you do push-ups, that's great. But there is nothing more therapeutic than a workout. It's you know. How about you guys? You guys lift?
A little bit.
Yeah, like all summer, we like religiously went like every day. Like,
And then school started all of a sudden. I don't know. We still try to get in as much as possible, but I mean, it's busy. Like it's like sleep or gym. So
yeah,
Okay, so here's my question. Why are you guys so busy? What year are you in?
I mean, this is our junior year, so it's like the year of high school where like you
oh,
get busy.
okay.
Like 4
It's,
AP classes. I'm like the top of the class, so it's and like president, like I do
ooh.
stud gov and all that. So it's like
Okay, so
a
you're
lot of
busy.
work, but
You're busy.
yeah, I mean, it's like it's good to have it's good to be busy, I think. I mean, I lose sleep because of it, but I mean, I'm about to have winter break, so it's fine. No
Oh, that's
problem.
sweet. Okay, I have a commitment I need from both you guys because I took out such valuable time on my Sunday. I need in return for the next 7 days, starting today, 100 push-ups every day.
Okay,
You have to.
we
all
can
right,
do that.
I'll do it.
But
Easy.
you guys need to
Well, not
update
easy,
me.
but I'll do
Like
it.
I'm gonna follow up on you guys. You have to tell
Okay, we
100
will.
push-ups, dude. You're gonna do 100 push-ups a day, and by this after the 7th day, you're gonna look different.
Yes, sir. All
And
right,
I'm
we'll do
gonna
it.
do
We'll
100
do it.
push-ups
All
a day. I'm start a group chat, and I'm gonna do
Okay.
100 a day, and we'll all check in. I did my 100
And
because it's not
everyone
easy.
listening to this podcast also needs to do 100 push-ups a day. It's
Everybody
the whole
on here.
everyone's doing it.
It's to start a Reddit chain.
Yeah, no, we will. All right, perfect. Okay, so I snaked you for the past couple of questions. Let you go.
Oh yeah. So I had a little question. So you said that you do like push-ups to like manage stress. Like what else do you do to manage stress? I'm sure you're pretty busy. So
Yeah,
besides
man.
push-ups.
I think when you're going 100 miles per hour, at a certain point, you will hit a bit of a wall. So when I get to those points where I'm just very overwhelmed, I allow myself to feel overwhelmed. I think that some of the worst times for people is when they're so anxious and they're upset at themselves for being anxious, and they'll say, "Ugh, why am I so worried? Why am I this?" A lot of times when I'm just very anxious, I'll say to myself, "Yeah, I should be anxious. I'm taking on a lot," and I just allow myself to feel a certain way, and I work through it. And I think working if something bothers you, this was a great lesson from my grandfather. If something is stressing you out, a big assignment, an exam, a performance, if you are worried, if you just do a little bit of work on it, you will feel better always. I think that's what do they even call? I don't even know the word because I don't do procrastination. I
Yeah.
used to be the worst procrastinator ever, and I slowly over time would say, okay, let me do 10 minutes of this awful, you know, journal entry I have to do for my English class, something I'll never use again. If I just did 10 minutes, I think, you know, being proactive is a great way handle the stress. And then obviously you got to have your boys, you got to have a good friend group, and go out, man. Like I think that you want to be very ambitious, and people think I'm a robot and that I'm always just working and grinding. But I think it's so important to party also. And my mom's like, stop saying this. Like you shouldn't. But I really think it is important to go out and have this amazing time. Go to concerts, go to festivals, because when you're young, that's the time to do it. So that's another thing. Is you when you're working very hard, you must make sure that you're also loving every moment and enjoying it as well. Not to seclude yourself from all pleasure just because you have such big goals. You also have time to go out. Both are equally as important. So to have those times where you're just blowing off a ton of steam is also a great way to stay focused and stay hungry.
Yeah, I find that if you don't try to like squeeze in that time to have like dedicated time to like, go do something fun, that will just find its way into your schedule in the form of like you scrolling on your phone for like hours or something like that. You need that time where you're not like working. And I mean, I need to get personally, I need to get better at doing that like on purpose, because it does just, show up in the form of me like on being on my phone for like an hour. So I don't
Totally.
know. I try to like squeeze it in, but that's definitely something that I need to work on.
I'm with you.
All
I
right.
also think when it comes to emotions, I remember before I started actually really benefiting from TikTok and had my own platform. When I would scroll on TikTok, I don't know if you guys feel like this ever, but I would feel so depressed after an hour
Yeah.
because
No,
Yeah,
absolutely.
totally. Yeah, so much guilt.
not just guilt, but I'm going even deeper than that. Not just guilt from taking too much time away from my day. I'm talking about real, a real upset feeling that I see all these other people living their dreams and doing so well and having such great audiences that it made me feel so awful about myself. I would think to myself, "Oh, why did I go to law school if I could have been a content creator? Because look how much fun they're having." And that's something that is an interesting conversation for me. Is dude, scrolling on social media is one of the most depressing things to do, in my opinion. Like at
Yeah.
this point now, I have a different level of comfortability and confidence because I have my own platform. But before that, it was just awful. So I think like minimizing time on social is probably helpful too.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's like you see that stuff. It's all like filtered. They're all putting on a show. It's like I just have to remind myself like none of this is real. Like I
Yeah,
mean, it's a lot of it is
Yeah.
just like glorified and stuff. Everyone has their struggles, and it's not as perfect. Their lives aren't as perfect as they may seem. Um,
exactly.
yeah. I mean, it's just those algorithms are so dang good, bro.
They're
It's like
so
I know.
good, dude. I was
I
just talking to
mean,
my brother about this. I literally will go out downtown, see something outrageous, some guy dancing in the street and doing backflips, and then I get home on TikTok and it shows up on my TikTok. It's insane.
I know. I'll be like talking about something, and then it's I don't know. It's creepy sometimes how quickly they get onto me. All right. We're gonna hit time soon. I want to get into the law stuff before we run out. So let's
Whoa,
talk
dude, we've been going
about.
for 52 minutes?
Yeah, I
I
know time
know.
flies, right?
I
What?
know. We're just going.
Hold on. I'm taking a quick
um,
video. Hold on, boys. Hold on.
yo,
Yeah.
yes, sir.
All right.
Yes, sir.
All right.
All
Sorry about
right,
that. But
no worries. Law. Tell us about your law journey. What, from my understanding, you do in-house counsel now, right?
yeah, I
But
had a
wasn't
real
always
estate.
like that.
Yeah, I've always been interested in real estate law. I love how you could go out to the building and see it yourself. I love how creative the process is in real estate development. There's a lot of art that goes into it in a way, and a lot of creativity. Picking out the style, the location, the design, the furniture, the paint, the finishes. I love that entire process, and it takes a lot of different disciplines to bring a good real estate project to life. You have to know finance, you have to know law, you have to know accounting, property management, zoning, land use. It's really endless. I could go on and on. So that's what I do now. Absolutely love it. I kind of brought my creative passions to the company. So I started a vlog series called Day in the Life of a Real Estate Developer. And the president of the company is the main character, dude. And we did one video, just one. I'm the guy holding the camera. I have my drone. All the footage is all mine. And I posted on LinkedIn. Dude, it popped off. Brokers calling now. Hey, we saw your video. big publications calling us now to cover us. So it's funny because LinkedIn is so funny. Are you guys even on LinkedIn?
So I'm
Um,
on LinkedIn, but I'm not on LinkedIn, so I don't like go like
Yeah,
scrolling through. But I know it's like a real social media platform at this point, like
dude.
yeah.
So
for
LinkedIn.
professionals.
What are you saying, Masio?
Huh? No, I was,
Oh,
I was agreeing with Sam. Yeah, I'm like kind of, I've seen it, but I'm not really on there.
I get it. Well, LinkedIn is the most boring social media platform on earth. It's death, dude. If you scroll there, you'll just want to, God knows what. But anyway, when I saw LinkedIn and I was scrolling, I looked at it, I said, wow, all I see is a field of gold, and that gold is attention. And if I just put out engaging, fun, entertaining content, I could capture it all immediately. So, if LinkedIn, if you have good content creation and you put it on LinkedIn, you will get viewed because the content on there is just god awful.
But it's like 40-year-olds, yeah, or like I don't know who goes on
But Sam,
LinkedIn.
who do
Is
you
it?
want to talk to? You want to talk to kids your age? You want to talk to me? You want to talk to the guy that owns the company?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, you're right. You're right. So I just need to
You
like,
know,
what do I do? I just go post a video on LinkedIn, being like, trying to like,
guys, it's a
give
different
me
it's a different
what do I do?
format. Different
Yeah,
format. So you're on TikTok and Instagram. You're trying to get views and create entertainment value. But when you're on LinkedIn, you want to post. Today, I went to the football field at 8 a.m. I filmed. We edited. I had the guys do a certain move, as you could see at 2 minute mark, and then you post your highlight video. And every week you show your process of you becoming a fantastic, amazing sports videographer. And bro, all of a sudden head of media for the New York Giants slides in and goes, "Hey, we want you to come out." So it's a
yeah.
different. You have to align yourself differently. Every platform's different.
Mhm.
The content needs to be different. The description, the narrative. On LinkedIn, you guys should be positioning yourself today. Not today. Like I hate LinkedIn, but I see how powerful it is, dude. You put out good content on LinkedIn, you're gonna get you're gonna get seen.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll try.
Yeah,
Maybe.
Should I put some
bro. It's
LinkedIn?
painful. I'm just telling you.
It's
So
like
does LinkedIn have like a shorts platform, or is it
I don't
just
know, dude. Everyone's doing the shorts. It's kind of
that's what I'm
exhausting.
saying?
Like, where do you
LinkedIn
put?
Shorts. Would that be horrendous?
LinkedIn
Are you kidding
Shorts.
me?
Yeah.
There's no. There's no way. Like, because then it's like everyone's trying too hard to do the shorts thing. I think like YouTube kind of is bringing their own shorts culture. TikTok still
Yeah,
is like the most authentic one, but I don't know. Everyone's like, "Oh, is this gonna replace this, that?" I mean, I think they're all like a little bit different, like you said. And
yeah, they
I,
are.
I think LinkedIn in a short form thing just does not make much sense. But I mean, I guess if you're trying to get like 40-year-old business people addicted on your shorts algorithm, go for it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
But
that's what I was
true.
picturing.
I mean,
No, I don't know
I
if
don't
they
know.
do.
Maybe I feel like their brains aren't as like susceptible to that, but maybe they are. Yeah, who knows? The algorithms are good enough to get anyone these days.
Maybe.
All right. You're talking about your real estate, the real estate law you're doing. Have you heard of Chat GPT?
No, what is that? You guys wrote that in the email. What is that?
Yeah, okay, I'm about to blow your mind. So I want you to, after this podcast, I want you to go look up. So it's a new project by OpenAI, and it can, I like,
Oh,
okay, I don't want to ruin your day, but this thing can draft legal documents that are like region
no,
specific with little to no
no,
errors, and it can
no.
code, it can write essays, it can it can do so much. So yeah, someone is drafting like a lease agreement or something like that, for
Stop.
like in North Carolina with this, and it can just do it effortlessly. So I want you to know about this because you should definitely use it as a tool. But I mean, I don't know. Is this coming for your job? Like, it's
Dude,
crazy. This thing is so good. It's like,
you just ruined my
I'm
life.
sorry, I'm sorry, but hey, you have to know about this because this is like it is game changing. Like people are like for just writing like an essay for school or something. You just write in your prompt and it'll pump out a completely original essay in like 2 minutes.
Are you guys using it for school?
I mean, it just
um,
came out like a week
mm,
ago, so
No,
we haven't had that
no,
many
maybe.
opportunities, and I'm not gonna
Yeah.
say if we are or not. But
Dude,
it is
putting
it
that.
is really impressive stuff. So it's OpenAI, so it's Sam Altman and Elon Musk and Microsoft. Same people who did Dolly, which is like the image generator from a couple months back. Um, yeah, it can draft legal documents pretty dang well. It can make songs. Like we had it
Yeah.
weird is we had an emergency pod on this like a couple days ago, and we made like an intro song, and it like we put in teen finance, it found our names. Like it was scary.
Yeah.
It's
It wrote about Sam and Maseo from the Teen Finance podcast. It was crazy.
I just want to get your take on it. I mean, I know you don't know a ton about it, but like it could totally change the landscape for lawyers who are not acting in the courtroom. Is what like, but so I don't know.
This is an unmitigated disaster. That's my final say. I am now switching professions. I'm now gonna be a full-time.
You gotta check this out though. No, I want like I think it'd be cool. Maybe you can get back to us. I want you to try to make some legal documents with it. And like I mean, I'm not a lawyer, so I don't know if they're like accurate or not. But you should try it and then just let us know, because I mean, I'm interested to see if this thing is actually like, you know, good at doing stuff as it says it is. Because at face value, like what I've heard is that, especially like I code so I can see when it like messes up with that kind of stuff. I wonder if it's the same for, you know, law. So I'm sure there's still need to be lawyers who check over stuff. I'm gonna make a video on this.
I'm gonna make a video on this.
You should absolutely make a video on this. It'll go
100%.
viral.
I'm
You
gonna
need to get your we need your take on this as a lawyer. So yeah, tell us if it's legit or not. I'm waiting on that video for sure.
That's horrifying.
Yeah, no, it's kind of
scary. Day is ruined. I hate all you guys.
Hey, but if you're the first, if other lawyers, if this hasn't gotten to lawyers yet, do you realize how much more you should need to gatekeep this? Actually, Mordy, I don't know if you want to make a video about this, bro.
Dude,
you need to gatekeep this. You'll be the most productive lawyer in the whole country. I'm telling you.
Wow, imagine. I'm gonna get a promotion.
If this hasn't infiltrated like law space yet, dude, you need to like, I don't know. This could increase your productivity like tenfold. It writes all your drafts for you.
That's insane. If I was in high school, I would not write another paper.
Yeah, that's what it feels like. I mean, we'll see how long this. So, I mean, they just like launched it. It's in like their beta version right now. We'll see if because I mean, for Dolly, it's not like you can do a certain amount of like prompts each day for free. We'll see. They're gonna have to monetize it at some point, but I feel like it's a tool worth paying for. Like, it kills Google, like the search engine, because it'll do like you can like search for stuff, but it'll like, you know, sift through all of the results for you and get you like an answer. It'll put it all together. So all that work that you have to do like mentally, it just like erases that.
Dude, that's really
You can just
scary.
put a homework problem in there and it'll
that's really scary,
show you how to do it.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
It did my physics homework for me.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I know. There's one physics
it,
problem.
It drew out stuff and everything.
Yeah, so there's a physics problem. No one in the class could solve it. We're like we're AP physics, like everyone's really smart. No one could solve it, and we're all like super confused. And then like a month later when this comes out, we put it in, and it like in a second spits out like how to do it, all the formulas you use, and then gives you the answer at the end. And like we're like, okay, this is just better than humans.
Bro, between this and all the online learning and remote work, you guys are. No one's gonna learn anything.
School's over, bro. School's
over. Oh my god.
I don't know.
I gotta check this out.
At least high school.
No, I think I'm gonna really hit a rabbit hole on this.
You will, and you're gonna start using it. Chat GPT by OpenAI. We'll see. It's gonna change a lot.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're still on the topic of law. I just want to like for a lot of teenagers like us. For someone who wants to be getting into law in the future, what should they be doing now? Like, what are some habits they should be building?
Yeah, first, don't use Chat GPT because you won't learn how to read or write. The most important tool for anyone pursuing law is learning how to read and not skimming. You know, the way we look at text messages or the way we read TikTok captions. I mean, reading something extremely closely, understanding that every word matters, and being able to retain and contextualize what you just read is the most important tool. So if you want to start every single day reading one page of the New York Times or the Wall Street Journal and reading those articles in full, fantastic exercise. And then you go ahead, you go home and you summarize what you read. And you'll see when you first start off that you forgot a lot of the key facts. That is the most important tool. Reading comprehension. It will make the LSAT, that's the entry exam to law school, much easier. It will make law school a hell of a lot easier. It will make taking the bar exam a lot easier. That was my biggest flaw going into law school is I never read. I was allergic to reading. I just wanted to play basketball a whole day, and play GTA. So that's
Relatable.
number one thing. No need to complicate things with all these ridiculous tasks. If you just read and read and read and read, you'll be so much more prepared when it comes time to law school.
Did you take AP Lang in high school?
Dude, I didn't take one AP course. You guys don't get it. I literally told my parents, I said, I'm not taking one AP. I'm not going to waste my time. I want to chill. I want to hoop. Dude, I was hooping like 6-7 hours a day. I'm not even kidding. I was just hooping.
Okay, AP Lang is basically like what you just said. Like that's what you learn. I think it is by far the most useful class you can take in high school.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it's just teaching you how to like read and write at a high level. And
Wow.
I mean, I try to get as many people as I can to take that class because it's at our school. It's a really good teacher and everything. So, I mean, it sounds like that's what you're recommending. It's just like, close reading. Like it's all nonfiction in that class pretty much. There's one fiction book, which is Gatsby. That's the only one you read the whole year. The rest
Yeah,
is
that's a good
just
one.
like articles and, old writing from like, the transcendentalism, all that. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's a useful class, and that's basically what you do in it. It's just like, analyzing articles and then, writing responses to them and that kind of stuff.
Are you guys
All
both
right.
in APs?
Yeah.
Different ones, but yeah, I didn't take Lang this year. I feel like I should have taken it.
Should have
It's like-
taken Lang, bro.
I should have taken it. I'm doing like
we're
coloring
guilty.
pages in my other class, but
the Play-Doh in AP Stats, and then the Eating Crowns in AP Physics.
Where do you guys live, by the way? Where do you guys live?
We're in Santa Cruz, California. I know
No
you surf,
way.
right?
yeah,
Hell yeah.
You surf, yeah.
Yeah, I was in California for Super Bowl weekend.
Oh, you
Oh,
were?
nice.
Yeah, it was crazy. I was supposed to go to the Super Bowl, but then it didn't. I didn't go to the Super Bowl. That's the end of the story.
Oh, dang. Yeah, no, we're NorCal, so a little bit different, but still, I mean, it's same California. But you got to come to Santa Cruz to surf at some point. You got to visit
how
us.
is
It's
it
crazy
there?
here.
How is it
It's
there?
the surfing capital of the world.
Yeah, I know.
It's
Dude.
like it is the spot to surf.
That's so
We
sick.
got big
No, like-
waves. Mavericks just up there. No, yeah.
I'm
you
not
gotta
going
pull
Maverick.
up.
Oh, I know Maverick. Oh my.
Nah, just
Maverick,
pull up.
that's-
It's only like 40 feet. It's not that bad, bro.
R.I.P.
What else? Big Law. How was that working in Big Law?
Dude, it
What
was
was it like?
Well, this was a very unique time to enter the workforce. So I was at a big law firm. For those that don't know, it is a terminology used for the biggest, most prestigious law firms in the biggest cities in America. They all pay, $215,000 for their first year associates.
Okay, wait. Is it like Suits? Is it like the TV show Suits, or is it completely different?
It couldn't be any different from Suits. No one is dressed in a nice suit, first of all.
Really?
Really?
No, dude, zero. Very few
Oh,
people
wow.
actually wear suits and ties to the office anymore post-COVID. There's very little drama. There's very little talking. I'm just sitting in front of a computer, typing a whole day. I was working remotely, and I think for young people that are really looking to learn, I would always recommend against working remotely because I don't think you could grow socially, professionally, when you're just sitting at home all day. It drove me nuts. And you guys could see already from this conversation that I have a good time talking. And I would start my work at about 8:30, 8:45, and I'd work until about 10, 11 o'clock every day. So it was 14, 15 hours a day.
Wow.
Of just in this room, like where I am right now. So the firm it's an amazing firm. I got to work on some of the biggest deals and the biggest buildings in New York City. I mean, I'm talking hundreds of millions of dollars in one transaction for, one portfolio. So that exposure, I'll never see M's like that again, probably. So in that sense, it was great. And I think at the end of the day, if anyone ever takes a chance on you and says, okay, we'll hire you, I think you always have to show a certain amount of appreciation for that, even if it didn't work out the way you thought. Like the fact that Gibson said to me, like, we like you, we want you to come here, means a lot to me. And I would never take that for granted. So I think in life, you always have to be very thankful. And I think that is a little bit of a lost art, appreciation and gratitude.
Totally.
So yeah, at the end of the day, I'm happy they took a chance on me. And at the same time, I'm happy I'm not there anymore.
I know, and else it does seem nice to just be like, do in-house counsel, because then you're like really connected to the business in a way that you kind of aren't in big law, right?
No. This is a company. I get to see all parts of the business. So aside for just law, I get to do some interior design, branding, marketing, PR.
Yeah.
Um, so it's great, man. I mean, I think if you have a certain type of personality and a certain type of mind, it's nice to do many different things. And it sounds like you guys are much busier than most.
Yeah, I'm like
That's
trying to figure out what I want to do. Like, I can't imagine just doing one thing. And that's why like, I
yeah,
think like in a position
Yeah.
that you're in where you kind of get to do a lot of that other stuff and have fun. Cause like, yeah, I mean, I like doing like the technical stuff, but I also really like the business side. But I also really like, just doing marketing and that kind of stuff and getting like make videos myself. So I don't know. I need to find it like when I'm older, I need to find myself in a position where I can do all of that, or else I think I'll go crazy. Not being able to do
Yeah.
the other
Oh,
stuff.
definitely, dude.
Yeah,
And you will,
totally.
because you guys are already doing that now. Like
Yeah.
Maseo, what do you got going on aside for school and all? Because I know Sam's got the videography and photography.
Yeah, so I got school. I
He's-
procrastinate so hard on all my
yeah.
school stuff, and it takes up so much of my time. And then like I do a lot of like stock stuff on the side, and I work with my dad for his company like
Oh
a
hell yeah!
fair bit.
What does he do?
Um, he does like industrial solutions for like factories, so it's like the big machinery that like builds the cars inside of factories. He sells like the whole assemblies for those.
Oh hell yeah!
Pull up the
That's
ArcX
amazing.
headquarters. New
Yeah.
spot.
Damn, let's go. I need that factory tour.
Yes, sir. Actually, well, yeah, Maseo, I want that factory tour too, bro.
I want
Yeah.
one too.
Dude, at the end of the day, I just want to reiterate one thing is that you guys are so young and like I'm 26 and I would say to myself, I'm so young, I'm just getting started. Like what anyone has seen is just the start of it. Um, and I think it's so important to just understand that you're always growing and that's the point of life is you're going to struggle, you're going to procrastinate, you're going to do bad on exams, you're going to have to drop classes, and it's all part of the greater process. So people want change very fast. You want to already be able to be, you want to be have a company, and you want to learn a language, and you want to do many things, and it's all a process. And I think once you actually fall in love with that process, for example, when I was applying to law school, the process of studying for the LSAT, preparing my resume, the application, the visiting, the wait list, the drama. That for me was so much more fun than when I got accepted. When I got accepted, I was like, oh, it's all over now. Yeah, I was happy I got
Yeah.
in there. But I think when you just look at every day, my mantra is improve in something every day. So do something today that'll make you better tomorrow. And anything that doesn't make you better tomorrow is probably not productive. Doesn't mean you shouldn't do it. Doesn't mean you shouldn't go to a concert. But what could you do today that tomorrow you'll be a little bit better? Just and if you do that every day, all of a sudden these little bits of improvements end up being massive.
Yeah, I think you can justify going to a concert with that logic because going to a concert can make you better tomorrow, can relieve
Yeah.
stress, that'll help you be more productive and that kind of stuff. So I think everything, like most of that falls under that umbrella of trying to like improve yourself. And I mean,
Hell
just
yeah.
like those little like habits, I mean, they build up over time. They compound on each other. And it's something that just at one point you'll reach that point where it all like comes together. But I mean, I try my best just to like, work on those small habits. We talked about this in like a past episode. Maseo gave like a little hack where it's like try to make all the bad habits like maybe like 20 seconds more difficult to do and then like make all the other stuff just like slightly easier. It could be like if you want to go to the gym, like just have like your gym bag ready at your door or something. So just to make it easier. So
That's a
yeah,
great
I don't know.
point. That's a great point. You guys surround yourself with people like yourselves. Like if I was in high school, I know I would immediately be wanting to be friends with you guys. Let's say, oh, like they got this podcast, they're doing videos. It would just, you want to always attract the energy you want. And I think when you're surrounding yourself around friends, the obvious saying is you're the sum of the five of them. But at the end of the day, that really does ring true. You want to be around
Yeah.
winners, people that are bettering you all the time. And the most important thing with friends is that they want the best for you because people jealousy is the strongest emotion
Yeah.
and you'd be surprised. Like even I've lost a lot of friends over time. Like as you're evolving and becoming the person you want to be, people will not react well, and it's not their fault. It's just their emotions are too strong, and I think you have to be willing to just say, you know what, I've evolved and they stayed the same, and therefore I can't feel bad about losing them. So that's something super important. Like everyone around you needs to be so happy for your success all the time.
Yeah.
And the second they're not, move on. You don't need them.
Yeah. You need people
Yeah.
boosting you up. It's not gonna work without it.
Totally. Like all my
All right.
friends, I'm like the biggest hype man.
Yes, sir. No, I think people love you for that. People want to like
Yeah.
those relationships are like worth more than anything else. I think just having that strong
Totally.
support network and stuff. All right, Morty, how much time do you have? Can we roll? Do we have time to roll into some Minnow Tank and then the final thing you wanted to show us?
Yeah, fine. Let's do another 5 minutes. How's that?
Okay. Real quick,
go.
we have. Did you come with a business idea for Minnow Tank or no? It's fine if you didn't.
I
Because
got,
we
I
might not
got
even
one.
have
I
time.
got one.
Okay,
I got one, bro.
we'll let
Come
you
on.
do
I'm about
yours
to-
first, and then if we have
Sim,
time,
I'm
we'll
gonna
do
give
ours.
you. I'm gonna give you the idea, and you're gonna go ahead and do it, and you'll put me on the board with advisory shares of this company.
Okay.
When you go to a restaurant with friends,
Yeah.
the worst part of the night is when the check comes out. You're
Mhm.
with 10 friends. Everyone pulls out their credit card. What did you get? What did he get? Oh, your steak was $10 more than my chicken breast, but you got the asparagus, so you pay the asparagus. And how much is tip? Oh, let's do 80% tip. Here's 10 cards. The checkout process at any restaurant is about like 10, 15 minutes. It's dreadful. It ruins the whole experience. So my idea to you, Sam, Maseo, is it Maseo is the right way to pronounce it?
I guess Maseo.
Maseo, you should have corrected me. Maseo, Maseo
Oh,
and
you're good,
Sam.
you're
This
good.
is the company that I'm giving you guys to go run with. It is a software where you could seamlessly check into your table, claim the foods that you want, that you want to pay for. You pay it and you walk out. You don't even have to look at the waiter again. This would increase efficiency on the consumer end. It would keep tables moving much faster at restaurants, and it'll make the whole experience better. They have softwares like it, but I've seen them and they suck because I could see a good software. And all of a sudden you're sprinkling in new features. We go out for Maceo's birthday and we could do a feature where it's birthday and everyone else pays for him and it automatically splits his bill to everyone else evenly. So
Yeah.
that is my idea to you two. What do you guys think?
I think
That's
that's a
great,
great
yeah.
idea. But I think
That'd
it's
be really
not for us.
helpful.
You want to know why? Because we already came up with the greatest solution ever
Oh
for this,
my
okay?
god.
So,
I hate it.
no, it's great.
Dude, I paid for stuff more than anyone else.
No. All right.
Yes, I 100% have.
We like to live life on the edge, okay? To have an exciting life. So what we do, we came up with a solution that revolves around gambling. So we all put our cards in a bag and then we pick one card out of it and that person pays for everything. It's really exhilarating and you know, the majority of the group leaves extremely happy, you know? So
That's good. I like that one.
Yeah. That's we do that like sometimes when the stakes
Let me
are
ask
too
you,
high.
where you going to eat? How much is the check?
I mean, it depends. We'll just go out to like, I mean, sometimes we'll go out to like dim sum or like Chinese food or something like that.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it's like $100 or something, depending on how many of us are there. And
Which is a lot
sometimes
of
we feel
money.
really bad. It is, yeah. But like,
it's a lot of money, but you go to New York City with 10 people, that bill's $900.
yeah, exactly. So,
Yeah. So
with
we
that
can
amount,
do that.
you got to be a high roller if you want to do that in New York. But for like a
Oh,
lot
no.
of places, it's
Yeah,
not that
yeah.
big of a deal. But hey, at one point, once you get to that point in your life, I mean, it's kind of just like it's a fun way to do it. But yeah, I like the idea of doing that. I mean, like I think do some places already like this? I'm trying to think.
They have like those like little like the place like the little like Ziosk, I think they're called.
Yeah,
you can
like
like split. You can like
um,
split and select on there.
what is it
I
called?
think.
What like those like diners and stuff that
The
have
iPads, you do it on the iPad.
Yeah.
Yeah, like little like tablet on the.
What do you
table.
Yeah,
guys
well, you can
got?
also like play games on them. All right.
I want to hear your ideas.
So I don't know if this already exists because I kind of came up with it last second, but it's kind of related to law, which is why I wanted to ask you. Fiverr for lawyers. So like I think getting a lawyer seems like such a difficult process. I want a lawyer if they're like lawyers who just like, you know, aren't at like a big firm and just want to do like, you know, the smaller jobs. I just want to be able to hire a lawyer like super easily and just like it can be like just for like one thing. Like I need you to draft me like some agreement for my app. I don't need you to like stick around for that long because it's not that legal intensive, but I need you to like just do something for me real quick. Can I pay you like $1,000 to do this or something? Just something like that where it's like just like a platform where there's just like a base of freelance lawyers who will just do like any of those like small jobs. They don't need to stick around, just do it real quick and then move on.
Let me digest that.
I don't know. This might be a thing. It might be
promising.
stupid. I don't know.
It's promising in the sense that it's very hard to find a lawyer because there's so many law firms, and how are you supposed to know who's who? And what would be cool to add on to that, Sam, would be the reviews of that lawyer from the past. Here's the one.
Totally. Like just like Fiverr.
Here's the one issue is that you hire as opposed to you hire someone for a creative purpose to make a YouTube thumbnail. You hire them, you say hasta la vista, I'll never see you guys again. What's the worst that could happen? The thumbnail doesn't perform well. But when it comes to a contract, if you hire a lawyer and they do a crap job, and down the line, something hits the fan, you know, someone didn't put funds in the right way, or you want to terminate this agreement with the person you started it with, but you never really understood the contract. This person just took boilerplate language off Chat GPT. Dude, that's the thing. When it comes to a good lawyer will create a contract that is ready for all situations, but also hopefully you never actually have to look at the contract again. Once you pull out the contract and you have to get, as they would say, litigious, where you have to start suing people left and right, that lawyer's long gone, and on Fiverr, you don't know who it is. You're now in a tough position. So I see how I could see it being, I could see it actually. Now, the more I'm thinking about it, because you could just have reputable people on there with reviews.
Yeah.
They have this? Did you do your market research?
They do. I'm pretty sure, like, but it's still like, it seemed still too difficult to me when I was seeing stuff, but I guess it has to be. It can't be as easy as Fiverr because of the reasons you just said. But yeah, I mean, I don't know.
It could be cool.
There's some people doing it.
The more I think about it, the more I kind of like it.
Yeah, whoever's doing this is not marketing it correctly, because I didn't know about it and it was hard to find it when I went to look it up. So if someone just like, you know, marketed this well, made it more out there.
It's a pretty good idea, actually. I changed my mind. I like it.
Okay, I want you to start it, Morty.
No, dude, I'm not looking
on for a All right, Maseo, let's hear yours real quick.
All right, okay. So this is kind of a joke that was in my mind, but then I kind of thought of it and I was like, it could be something, right? So here you are. You're walking into your local coffee shop, right? Or like a little smoothie bar, and you see the big menus they have, right? They just have a bunch of names and words going down them. And so my idea, right, is we make those all screens, right? And every time you order something, we implement like effects on the screen that like show your drink and like give like special effects for your different orders. And I think you could just go around and like market this to like chain brands and then just like put those in every store. It could work. I'm not explaining it well, but
no, I like
you explained it perfectly.
Menus. Yeah,
you explained it perfectly. I like that.
It'd be cool.
That was my idea.
If you go to Dunkin' Donuts,
it'd be interesting.
You know they have the payment screen right in front of you when you pay at Dunkin' Donuts. So when you order,
we don't have a Dunkin'.
Okay. Well, you know they have that payment screen that says like cash or card, and you tap it.
Yeah.
On there, you could throw on like someone drinking coffee. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it would definitely add to the user experience for sure.
Yeah, that's cool.
And I think it's like you just make a little royalty off of it or something.
Yeah.
Just
all right, Maseo, I'll give you $100,000 for actually no, I'll give you $10 for 100% of the company. All right, no, I'll give you $100,000 in debt for 100% of the company.
Mr.
I'm like Kevin.
Mr. Wonderful.
Kevin O'Leary.
Yeah, Mr. Wonderful.
If you were like Mr. Wonderful, you'd be pumping up a company and making everyone else lose their investment. But you know,
right?
FTX.
All right, Morty, go get the thing you're gonna show us. It's the end of the episode.
Prototype.
Bro, this is crazy. Hold on, I'll be back.
Hey, Maseo, how you doing?
Oh, pretty good. How are you doing, son?
My day is so much better. I feel bad for ruining Morty's though with ChatGPT. Not gonna lie.
No, I'm sorry, Morty. If you're listening to this, we're sorry.
Sorry, but like, hey, he needed to know about it. This is gonna make him the most productive lawyer. Until, I mean, he needs to gatekeep this, I think.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, he doesn't tell anyone, and he just sits there drafting like 140 documents a day.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, here he is.
I have something in my hand. It's off camera right now. This is the next gen product for all party experiences.
Okay.
I have the prototype. It's up here. It's up here. It is a board game that is perfectly situated for pre-games and post-games when you go out. I came up with this with my boy. It's still a prototype phase, but we have everything designed. This is the box. It's called Postgame.
Oh, dude, that
looks nice.
And
oh my gosh.
Got the red bottom for Louboutin.
Okay.
This is the logo called Postgame.
Love it.
and it's in the bottom right. It says your post game will never be the same.
Dude,
So
that is it.
I can't show you what's inside, but the goal
Yeah.
here, the play is, and we played this when I was with my friends in Vegas, and it's pretty fun. Like it's a mixture
Yeah.
of kind. I'm not going to tell you what it is because it's still unreleased. But the goal is to reach out to big alcohol companies, and as everyone goes digital, and they're all trying to fight for space on people's phones that are totally saturated, I'm now going to tell them, you must go back in time. Remember what I told you guys about the door hanger?
Yeah.
Now you can
Yeah,
have a
yeah.
product that will live on someone's table. Post game by Absolute, post game by Svetka. All of a
It's so
sudden,
good.
you've brought this brand to life, and every time people go and get ready to drink, they are thinking about the brand. It's the perfect marketing. So my friend Harry and I, we went to the top spirit brand worth billions in New York City called Campari. They own the biggest brands. I think they own Svetka. They own 10 other alcohol brands. We went to the office unannounced. We were there. The most gorgeous building you've ever seen in New York City. 10 security guards, massive reception area. And I went in there. I looked up the name of the marketing person on LinkedIn. I went to the front desk. I said, hi, I have a meeting with Laura at 1:30. I had no meeting. They're like they go, oh yeah, of course. They ask for my IDs. I look at Harrison and I'm like, I can't, this is working. We give our IDs.
That is so good.
She's typing in our information. She's about to take a photo of us on the webcam to send us up. She goes, wait, I don't see you guys in the system. And I said, no, it can't be. I mean, we spoke to the headquarters. They told us to come at 1:30. We should be in the system. We were just going to go up the elevator and say, where's your marketing person? I need 2 minutes. That is when the elevator pitch comes in, and they wouldn't let us up. They wouldn't let.
No.
So Campari, if you're listening, you are missing out on the greatest marketing opportunity. Your marketing is
Oh my
stale.
gosh.
You've lost some magic, and post game is here to save you. This is Moses ready to split the sea, and the sails are inside on the land.
Yes,
so
sir.
Campari, call me, baby. We gotta talk.
There we go. All
Dude,
right,
you gotta put-
Morty,
that's
this was a
awesome.
blast. I'm excited to see where this goes.
Dude, I
We'll
appreciate
have to
it,
have
man.
you back on once that launches. Yeah.
Oh hell yeah, you guys are great, and you guys are doing a great job with everything. At 16, I was
thank you.
nowhere
you.
near this advanced level, and dude, it's a great time. I'm gonna keep tuning in. You guys got a clip, take some of the best parts, make those TikTok clips. We got to throw
Oh, this
up that
podcast
short
is
form.
going everywhere.
Oh,
I'll send some
100%.
to you.
Yeah,
This
yeah,
is
yeah,
everywhere.
dude. And I'll repost everything, bro. If you send me a really good clip, I'll put it on my TikTok and I'll tag you guys.
Bet.
Awesome.
Perfect.
Awesome.
All right. One final question though,
Hit
before
me.
you go. When are we gonna see you run for president?
Yeah, man. I think it's the person doesn't decide when to run for president. The people do. So I think at some point,
We want you
I
now,
definitely
Morty. We want. Who cares if you're not 35?
Morty
It
for
doesn't
prez.
matter. It doesn't matter. Just run anyway.
here's what I will say. In my lifetime, I will do it. I just don't know when, because I think it would just be a fantastic experience. I would run as an independent. I think the two-party system is a little bit outdated in the sense that no one really knows like why they're rooting for one side, and I would just like to get back to the ideas. So, running for president soon. I got where is it? Do I have it here? I have a hat that says Morty for Prez, but merch coming soon. I'm actually I'm working on designing a hat, so a merch line that says Morty for Prez.
Really?
It's kind of like an ironic play off campaign merch. So it's a really fresh hat, like one of these baseball caps, and I'm going to be donating 100% of the proceeds to a charity. So that should be
sick.
dropping sometime.
Nice.
That should be dropping sometime in the spring. So stay tuned for the merch. I'll send it to you guys when I get it.
Bet. All right, Morty, where can people find you? I think after
Yes.
this podcast, everyone's gonna want to know more about you.
Oh, I appreciate it, man. You could check me out on TikTok, Morty for Prez, number 4. That's probably my best platform. And then on Instagram, Mordecai Weiss, no spaces. That's a hard word to spell, MORDECHAIWEISS. And if you guys have any questions, DM me. I spend hours mentoring hundreds and hundreds of students in 1 year. I've spoken to so many students that I'll never meet, and I'm just here to kind of help and be some sort of guiding hand for anything that you guys are doing. So you can reach out in any sort of way. I'm happy to be a part of your process, and that's where you can find me, man. Or you can find me on the streets of New York City. You know what it is. So
I know, just look around to stop you. Morty.
No,
Does that happen
people,
a lot?
yeah, people stop me, and it's great. I love it. It's the most rewarding
Sick.
part because I spend a lot of my time alone, creating, working. So you get to meet people off it, and they say, a lot of people say that I inspired them to go to law school, or I inspired them to do this, or to study harder. It is the best feeling you could get.
Sweet. All right, we're gonna wrap. That was this episode. We'll see you all next week. Mark your calendars. Morty, thanks for coming on. This was a blast.
Sam,
Look forward to
Maseo,
next time.
thank you guys. I appreciate it. Great time.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it was.
All right. See ya.
Bless up.
See ya.